Mother, my earphones are missing.
Never mind, put your bracelet on maximum force.
What is up? I'm Sergeant Ballistic, but you guys can call me Brian. Thank you for checking out this video. So as a lot of you guys can probably tell, I've been bitten pretty hard by the whole audiophile scene and audio gear bug lately. So I was really super happy when Sound Blaster decided to send me the X7 DAC amp for review. This is an external sound card aimed at gamers and audio enthusiasts alike. It offers high resolution 24-bit 192 kHz audio. It basically bypasses the audio processing of your desktop or laptop, which can be a pretty inhospitable place for clean audio signals, and adds a couple key features like a powerful amp, low latency Bluetooth, and Adobe Digital Decoder. It's multi-platform and can be connected to pretty much any and every audio source you may have in your setup. I was actually honored with 2 different innovation awards and a Tom's Hardware top pick at CES 25. I was actually there and wanted to check it out, but it was a little busy. So checking out the product, opening the box, I was really satisfied with the nice dense foam's ability to protect your $400 investment. Taking a look at the accessories box, it comes with a power plug, a power plug, a power plug, a power plug, a power plug. So needless to say, you should be able to power this in whatever country or region of the world you might live in. Included connectors are a female 3.5mm headphone to stereo RC adapter, a micro USB cable, and finally a 3.5mm male headphone adapter to stereo RCA cable. Also included is an optional attachable headphone stand, which is a nice inexpensive addition, especially if you might be a little low on real estate in your desk setup. Finally, we have the unit itself, which is actually kind of surprisingly light. That's mainly because it's primarily constructed of hard plastic. That's not to say it's cheaply made or anything like that. It has kind of an older retro look to it, and I kind of expected it to feel and weigh as much as one of my mom's old hi-fis or something like that. I personally love the overall industrial design here, like the trapezoidal shape. It's unique, a bit aggressive, but should still fit well into most setups. It has gold accents and lettering, which actually match pretty well with my Advanced Warfare Limited Edition Xbox. If black isn't your style or you have an all-white setup, Sound Blaster does make an all-white limited edition of this as well. So taking a look at the front of the device, the first thing you notice is a large silver volume knob. Pressing this also acts as the mute button. The silver metal kind of feels like aluminum and a bit too light to me. I know this is kind of a weird thing for me to say, and it won't bother most people. It's just when you have an idea of what something should feel like by looking at it, and then you actually use it or turn it, and it doesn't feel that way, it just kind of throws me off every time. Below that is a grill behind which are dual beamforming mics, which are used for noise cancellation. Continuing down is the power / Bluetooth pairing button on the left and the SBX toggle button on the right. They have a pretty good tactile feel to them, but nowhere near as good as the ones on the E5, which were just kind of a pleasure to click. Both of these buttons are LED backlit to indicate power when Bluetooth pairing mode is on and when SBX is on. Finally, along the bottom from left to right, there's a 3.5mm mic input, a 1/4" headphone output, followed by a second headphone output, which is 3.5mm. Dual headphones are nice for just casual listening with a friend using headphones, but also serve an additional purpose for musicians who might want to be able to use the same pair of headphones to let 2 different people listen to the same audio at the exact same quality at the same time. The TI TPA 6120A2 amp can push your audio to 1 pair of cans at 600 ohms or 2 different pair of cans at 300 ohms each. The sides are pretty bare other than some branding and the NFC quick pairing spot, which actually works really well. And down low on the opposite side is the USB port for hooking up your smart device in wired host mode. Turning it over, you can see there's a little removable cover where you can not only see the high-end audiophile grade components like the fine gold capacitors, but also the swappable op amps that let you tune the tonal characteristics of the sound signature more to your liking. This is actually really common in audiophile grade equipment and is similar to switching out vacuum tubes in high-end amps for guitars. It also has rubber feet down here, which do a pretty good job of keeping it from sliding around my desk too much. Switching around back up top, you can see where you attach the headphone stand. This works really well and looks good with all of my cans, but I wish there was a horizontal crossbar between the vertical crossbar so it wouldn't flex back and forth so much. So the back is really the business end where their huge selection of I/O is located. Top right is the power input. These are flanked on the left by the speaker outputs, which are 2-way connectors, supporting the ability to both screw down a bare wire or plugging in a banana plug. The X7 has a 100 watt amp that is 2 by 50 watts at 4 ohms for for passive speakers. On the left of these connectors, there's a toggle so you can switch between 4 ohm or 8 ohm speakers. Then on the bottom left of that, things get a bit more interesting and for some maybe a little bit confusing. That's because this is where we have the 5.1 surround line outs. From left to right, there's a, well, left and right RCA connection, followed by 3.5mm outs for both the rear stereo and center/sub out. So depending on what you're connecting these to, you might have to use the enclosed adapters to get things all hooked up. Also note that the shared center and sub channel might require splitting if your 5.1 system doesn't share a sub and center channel. Next we have the RCA line in for external analog sources, and finally optical in and out for hooking up a TV or console, for instance. So yeah, just like the E5, which I've reviewed before, this has a ton of connectivity to allow you to hook up a number of different sources as inputs or outputs. And this can actually act as a simple mixer to allow you to listen to your computer, Bluetooth enabled device, your console, a MP3 player, and a whole bunch of other external things if your heart desires. This is all made possible by the X7's SB-AXX1 DSP and the EMU32 bus, which can process up to 32 concurrent audio streams at the same time. So as always, I did most of my listening using Spotify Premium and their high quality setting. So the volume knob on this adjusts the system volume when hooked up to a PC and actually gives you a nice blinking light when you reach the minimum and maximum volume. And it takes about 4 complete rotations to go from 0 to 100% and vice versa. But unfortunately, aside from this, there's no indication as to the current volume on the unit itself. A couple times I received pretty huge blasts to my ears when powering on or switching to the device. But overall, I had a really good listening experience with this. I love listening to hip hop and EDM with this, as the overall warm signature and tight bass really came through even at higher volumes. And this thing can really push some volume to headphones and speakers. In addition to the cans I mentioned, I also use this to power the EMU XM7 bookshelf speakers that Creative Labs was nice enough to send over, and this thing had no problem filling up my room, my whole upstairs, and entire house with nice clear sound. Gaming with the X7 was exactly what I expected, having used the E7. It can definitely give your gaming experience a boost if you find your current motherboard or audio device lacking. I really like pairing the X7 with my ADX700s, which are open back and have a nice clear sound stage, which made for some great footstep and gunshot localization. With the downloadable software Scout mode, you can also get better localization even if your headphones don't have all that great of a sound stage, as it boosts these frequencies in order to give you better situational awareness. A lot of people don't realize how much of an advantage having high quality sound can be in gaming, especially stuff like first person shooters. It's so gratifying when you hear somebody sneaking up behind you and you're able to whip around for that beastly 180 Wandig or no scope. Boom, headshot. Looking more into the software is really one of the things that sets Sound Blaster products apart from other typical audiophile devices. It really lets you customize your listening experience based on what you're watching, listening to, or playing, and suit it best to your different output devices. This may be considered somewhat of a downside for some people though, because besides the XBX toggle button, there's no way to control any of these features on the device itself. You have to use either the PC or Mac software or the smartphone software in order to make these changes. Other devices in this price range and class come with a remote, but if you have a Bluetooth capable device around, you can easily use it as a remote if, say, laying on your bed listening to music. If you guys do want to see an in-depth overview of the Sound Blaster software, let me know and I'll be happy to whip up a video on that. So overall, I'm very pleased with the performance of this device and will be happy to continue using it in my personal setup. So who is this device for? I'd say this device is going to suit people that place a large premium on their audio quality and want a versatile single device to handle pushing high quality audio from a number of different sources to various other high-end speakers or headphones. It does cost more than a lot of other high-end sound cards, but does so much more, such as mixing multiple inputs and driving passive speakers. This isn't, however, aimed at budget-oriented gamers or entry-level audiophiles. For that, Sound Blaster has the E series of portable DACs and amps. The device isn't perfect, and there are some things I'd love to see Sound Blaster improve in the next iteration. Some of those include an audio level LED or indicator, improvements to the headphone detection circuit. Really, surround sound was not as straightforward as with some 5.1 desktop speakers I've used in the past. And lastly, I did notice some grating when powering on the device occasionally or when hooking it up to my PC. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the X7 given and this video in the comments below. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up or thumbs down and let me know whether you want to see more videos like it in the future. I've got my Amazon affiliate link down in the description below, along with pricing and availability for this product. If you bookmark my affiliate link and use it when you buy stuff on Amazon, it gives me a small commission, doesn't cost you guys anything, and I will put all that money back into the channel to give you guys better and more reviews. Go ahead and subscribe if you guys already haven't for more audio gear and PC builds and a whole bunch of other type of videos. Follow me on your favorite social media sites. Thank you guys for watching again. Peace out.